Welcome to round 6 of the Wessex League, and today we are in Popham. Popham, hosted by Pedalon and NHRC. Thank you very much. It's going to be the last time we're in Popham for a while, hopefully not forever. And superb weather conditions organised by the organisers. Thank you very much because. Looking at the ground, you can see how much fun is to be had in these sort of conditions. I was on full muds for the first time of the season, and thank God I was on them because tried it on Baby Limus, and I was really struggling. Even though my son could ride it fine on Baby Limus, he's more skillful and a lot lighter, but I really needed muds today, and yeah. So ready, waiting to go. I'm in the middle. There's Miles looking back, Luca Masha ahead, Louis Tyndall over there. To the left of me is Kieran, and kind of 9 o'clock, not 9 o'clock, at 10 o'clock is Richard Lewis, who's one of the Pedalon organisers. So here we go, get ready to go, excited as ever for a bit of fun CX action. And I think we'll be going very, very soon. Last minute layers coming off. It wasn't freezing, but because everyone was so wet and it was windy, everyone was getting a bit cold. So here we go. I think it must be less than 30 seconds to go. Look at everyone's on their handlebars. And I'm hoping for a good start after last week's disastrous start. I'm bang smack in the middle, and here we go. Getting a bit tense, but very excited too. It's a long hold, and we are off. Good start. There, I paused it. This is where it all went wrong for me today. Kieran went right into me, and you can see he's literally on my wheel. I went sideways, and that was Tom Mear, who I smashed into. He smashed into Chris Day. Chris Day smashed into Dan Walton, and Dan Walton ended up on the ground. So that was a domino effect. No hard feelings, Kieran. These things happen. But as you can see, it knocked me all the way back. I am almost last because I'm not last, but Dan Walton's just got off the ground and is pedalling past me. But yeah, not the best start. I think next race I'm going to grid myself at the edge of the pack. Hopefully, I stand a better chance of not having a mishap because yeah, not the best start. But there you go. It is always fun fighting through the pack, and I was really, really trying not to go crazy, and on this ground you've got to be so careful. It's so slippery, and despite having good grip, you've only got so much grip. So I was just taking the moments when I could to try and pass people, but it was really tricky. I mean, here, don't go for that gap there. There was no gap. Here, just about I can get through. I think that's Glenn Panton ahead of me, and I know Dan Walton is right behind me because I just watched some of his video, which was excellent to see the start from two angles. But yeah, bad luck, Dan. Sorry, mate. That was it was just one of those things. You were at the end of the domino, and we've both had difficult starts. Here's an uphill where I proved to be pretty strong today. So I was really gaining on the uphill. The Solar Pirates training efforts where we do this sort of thing all the time, I must be paying off because I was, well, look at me, I'm just going past lots of people. Felt pretty good. I'm not sure who that was. That Graham? Not sure. But Paddy's in front of me. There he is. and you know, Paddy's always a good marker. He beat me last week, so if I'm near him, I normally feel quite good. And ahead of him is that's Chris Day. So after that start, I'm just happy that I'm not a million miles back, and cycling on these lines and these corners in this mud, every lap was just fun. Trying to find what's the best way to go through these lines, and you know, sometimes it's best just to wait. Sometimes it's best to go for a gap. And you know, I tried everything, but I tried to kind of conserve my energy for when I could use it. Like here, which is quite funny. Nearly had a bit of a moment where I started putting the power on, caught up to Chris, and then there was no gap there, and I was like, oh my god, where am I going to go? Oh, off track. I was really pleased that a lot of the markers were at the ground height because, well, yeah, that could have been a bit of a disaster, and Chris and I had a chuckle as I went by. I'm behind Mike Elder. Mike, who had one of the funniest crashes last week, although I might fight for that trophy, where he fell down the bank at Satonia and Dan Walton had to dive out the way, literally, as he came down the bank backwards. Dan had to cycle into some tape and off the course. So yeah, into the trees, a bit of congestion, because you know I'm mid pack towards the back of it. That tape on the right in Dan's video, he went on the outside of it and then cycled through the tape, which was amazing. I'm surprised he didn't get tape caught around his cassette, but he seemed to be fine. That was a funny overtake. Up over this slippery hill, Paddy's ahead of me, and this is brilliant. It's caught me by surprise. Whoa, look at that! Both Dan and Chris smashing through me, which makes a change. I think that's been some time coming. So I've done that to Chris so many times, and this time he got his own back at me, which is it made me laugh. It's brilliant. I think I just about get past Chris there. I forgot to wipe my screen the whole time, so you're going to get quite a bit of this, and it does get a bit raindrops and water droplets on the lens, but you can still see it all the time, so hopefully you persevere. There's Paddy and there's Dan in front of him, and I know Paddy was on mud tyres, I was on mud tyres, I think Dan was too, and yeah, as the day progressed, I know it got worse. The elites, the friend riding in the elites, and because it stopped raining, it started to get sticky, and their bikes were, you know, you really needed a second bike to get through, I think, in that last race. But with us, it didn't really stay. They didn't stick to our bikes. Just got past Paddy there, and behind this guy who had a good engine. I don't know who he is, but he clearly had quite a lot of power. Yeah, so we were lucky. We were lucky because it was raining constantly for a long time. There's Dan just coming up to him over this little log. And then we're coming up to that bit where you pop out of the woods, you drop down into it again. There's two lines, left and right. I wish I had gone left for more of the race, but I went right. I think I just went right because I was following Dan, basically. And that, not as good a line as the left line. Dan's gone up the A line, I've gone to the B line because I only rode the A line once. Didn't really have much time for pre-riding today because I was pitting for my son. So I just played it safe and I thought, I'm going to lose a few seconds, but what's that in the context of the whole race? So past Dan there, There's Max Oakley, who we gave a lift to today. Mike Elder ahead. I'm not sure who that is. I think that's Graham Hollidge. And this is the bit where I just absolutely seemed to have a lot of power, which I was really pleased at. So I was really pouring it on here and treating this like a VO2 max effort. That's Martin Richardson, who unfortunately punctured and DNF'd after a few laps, but he was going at a good pace. And from that start, I'm thinking, wow, this is really good. I'm really catching up to people. Is that Oliver? I think it might be Oliver Coomber. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think it's Paul Riders. I think it is Oliver. And just ahead there is John Wheeler, and I thought, whoa! I just saw the back of John at the last race, and well, if you saw the last race, I just spent quite a lot of time on the deck. So I was pleased to be here, and I was just trying not to do something stupid and crash, because it is, especially on this, it takes you quite a while to get up sometimes because you're sliding, slipping all over the place. So yeah, I was just trying to keep it sensible after last week and make a bit of an improvement. Yeah, guys, just get on the inside of John. Oh, it's so slippery. I think, like many people have said, today's race was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. Yeah, really enjoyed sliding about, and it's the first time. Well, I like Popham, but I just haven't had a good race in Popham, so this is a better race for me. I've normally last year there was a bit where you went into the woods, and you went over a log, and I slid off on the log, and I went over my handlebars, landed on my head. There was no video of that race because I got the buttons mixed up, but yeah, it was quite a thwack. I think I had to actually throw the helmet away, which was a pain. Anyway, back to this race. I've been climbing up through the ranks and making up time on those uphill drags. So I'm just kind of catching up and trying to keep the bike upright. There were many times when I nearly lost it, had to put a foot down, and I'm sure I was not alone in doing that. And that's that line just there, taking a good line through there and trying to straighten out the corners was what it was all about. Onto this straight, get the power down, and see if you can bridge to the next group. And who is that? I don't know who that is. Went straight by. Oh, I think that's Tim Lawn. There's Tim Lawn there. I know things are going well if I'm going past Tim. Round the corner, and it's James Cotty ahead. Oh, this was a really good moment. James Cotty and Richard Lewis again. I thought, wow, I've already caught up after that start. I've already caught up to them, so that was great. Up the slippery bank, and I'm just behind James, who's bouncing. So here, it really was slippery. You didn't want to alter your direction much at all on this because it could easily go. It was so slippery through there. Now watch this. Watch this from James. It's brilliant. Whoa! That was brilliant. And I swear, he didn't do anything. He just lost it. Yeah, that was really something else. It absolutely just suddenly went sideways. Up here, I really struggled to get up here. Really struggled. I mean, I think very, very few times did I make it up here in one go. In fact, I don't think I did manage it at all. Always had to put a foot down and like pedal I don't know what's the word they call it. Anyway, this is brilliant. This is Richard Lewis and I think Jamie Plum, both very strong riders. And this is my funniest overtake today. Into the bush. Passed him out of the way and then round the corner. I don't know how I managed to get past, but I did. But that was quite funny. And Jamie and Richard are right on my tail there. But yeah, I didn't really have much control of my direction there. I kind of would just go aiming up the bank somehow. I gradually got pushed right, and I was straight into that edge of that bush, which was I think a holly bush, because it pulled off a scab I got from the previous race. Up over the hill. That was nice. That got harder as the race went on. I bet it was even harder in the later races. Well done to everyone who raced today. It was a lot of fun. I think everyone really enjoyed themselves. And then this slight uphill through the woods up to the tree. Again, I'm kind of trying to pop the power on a bit as much as I could, you know. And you can see I'm kind of slowly catching up to people. Who's that ahead of me? Oh, it's so hard to see on this little screen. 226 726. Oh, is that Matt? Yeah, oh, that's Matt Heathcote from Pawston North End Cycle Club. He got a really good start, and I just slowly reeled him in. So I'll see Matt hopefully at Circles tonight. Down here, get some speed on, a little bit of recovery, and I found that I could just cycle through the middle. I didn't really have to try and skirt it. I just went through the middle and it was fine, and I got grip, and I just every time just powered straight up here as fast as I can. I can't really see anybody in the distance, but there's definitely people, and you know, I'm really hammering it as hard as I can to see who I can get closer to, and you know, you can see I am getting slowly closer to the next group, whoever they are. So that was definitely my strong point of the day, this climb especially, that one. And you know, they're a lot closer than I was. Oh yeah, and so Jamie Plum's behind me, and Richard Lewis, so I'm hoping to get a gap, and then here we go. A little mishap there. I was just trying to keep, and I think, oh no, I've just made up that place. There's Richard. I made up that pace up the hill, and I've just wasted a load of it. They're catching up with me, and oh my god, that was a proper slide. Yeah, that was another mishap. And now, what happens when you crash on the mud like this is your hands are covered in mud, so everything's really slippery, and you just don't have good grip on your handlebars, and it's like, oh, this doesn't feel good, and then you've just crashed twice, and Jamie and Richard are right behind me, so I'm thinking, oh, I gotta get ahead, gotta try and get to the next group. So yeah, I just dig in and, you know, go hard again here to try and build up a gap. Jamie's really strong, so I just thought I just got to go hard because I don't want to get passed up here, and so I did. I went hard up here, put a bit of extra effort in, even more than I was normally, to hopefully stay away because he's probably right on my tail, and I didn't get past, so I was really pleased about that. Tiptoe round here. That one you really had to tiptoe round there. If you went too deep, you were kind of below the turn, and then back to the kind of nice swoopy is probably the wrong word when you're talking about these conditions. Yeah, just try and take a nice line. you know, I experimented quite a bit with different lines, but you know, it's just about carrying the speed, having good exit speed. Like here's a nice one. It's better, I found, to slow down so you didn't go too deep, and then have a good exit speed there for the next corner. So I think that one worked out quite well for me. And then into the finals, the straight on the gas. Get a gap to those behind me, and see if I can bridge to the next lot. Who, I don't know who that is, but we'll hopefully find out in a minute. So despite not cleaning the screen, you can still see it. There's a few times in this video where it's hard to see, but for the most part, it's still visible. And oh, it's Harrison Warner, who you often see in these videos, and that's Sam Richmond going into the pit at the same time, getting a nice clean bike, and off he goes. Those two juniors doing battle, and I'm just behind. Yeah, Harrison's dad, Mike, I didn't see in the race, but I think, I'm not sure what exactly happened, but Mike got to the start late, like 1 minute 20 late or something like that, and so started from the proper back. So he must have had fun going through the field. But yeah, so both Warners there again, which is good. Those two are having a battle, and they are also good at twisty stuff. You know, I not quite as good. And they kept swapping places. Look, Harrison went up there really nicely, got ahead. I'm pushing. I didn't get very far up there, so it took me a while to get going. It was so slippery. Oh, it was brilliant. Really good. We really lucked out with the conditions, with it raining as well, because it was that sloppy mud that didn't really stick to your bike too much. I mean, it was pretty muddy on your bike, but it wasn't the claggy stuff that just stops you from going. I mean, that was so hard, I found, to get up there. Even with full muds, I really struggled, while others just seemed to ride up it. Yeah. Funny that. I think maybe I had too much pressure. I added some pressure to my rear tyre, because I just felt the rim. I could feel it kind of hitting roots and things, and I just hate that feeling. But I don't know. Maybe I went over the top. This section here, when I rode it on lower pressure, and I think I did have better grip. I just felt it hitting roots, and you know, it's not really a nice feeling, is it? So, I put some more pressure in it. You know, I don't think I compromised my race too much. But yeah, didn't have quite as much grip, although it was fabulous, really, given the conditions. Any V40 on Baby Limus type tyres, I think you probably struggled today, because, well, I just think with my limited knowledge of tyres, but I did try them both. It's a better line that time. Not at the exit. I tried them both, and I was so much more comfortable on the full Limus. I'm really glad that I put them on, because, yeah, as I said, the Baby Limus just nowhere near as much grip throughout the whole race, and what you might gain, I think, was far outweighed by the grip throughout the whole race, especially on that other half through the woods bit and to the other side. Again, here we go, straight on the power, and you know, slam it up the slope to try and get to the next group, and passing Harrison and Sam. Who is next? There's a quick glimpse of Kieran there. Oh, I think it's it's Louis Tyndall. And I thought, wow, catching up to Louis, that's amazing, because well, Louis, I think Louis had some top tens this season. So yeah, really happy to see him. And showing that it's going surprisingly well today, despite my start. And in front of Louis is Jorge Ribeiro, I think, and I don't know who is there as well. Maybe it's Ian Keary, I think. I'm going to say it's Ian Keary. I'm not sure. It is a real kind of I did see it happen to me a lot. Is like you get close to someone and then you lose a lot of time, and so on. It really did change around a lot depending on how you rode the corners. Really, lots of to and froing. People have been better in certain sections than others, and it made a big difference to what position people were in. Here again, I'm going hard, catching up. You can't see race numbers anymore; it's covered in mud. I'm sure I wasn't the only one. In fact, I saw a picture on Facebook who washed their clothes on the floor afterwards at home before putting it in the washing machine because it was just absolutely covered in mud. I'm definitely going to bring a towel to the next muddy race because when I changed out all my things, I was just using any spare bit of clean clothing or semi-clean to try and be clean enough to put on fresh clothes, which felt so good after this wet race. So I'm gonna say that's Ian Keary, I'm guessing, or it could be Bruce Gregory. I'm not sure. Don't know that kit. I think that if that's Palmer Park Velo, then that is Ian, and yeah, let's say it's Ian. So Ian, go past Ian on the straight, come up to Jorge, and Louis getting away a little bit. Around the corner, try and stay in the track just about. And past the pits. I didn't have a pit bike today, so it wasn't an option for me at all. One bike would have been quite nice to have, but to be honest, actually I wouldn't have done it because I needed mud tyres, and my pit bike has Schwalbe X1s, which are good tyres, but I don't think they'd have coped too well in this. I don't know. I've never tried it. All straight over here. I got a good run there. Got past Jorge and got past Louis there as well, which was nice. And then the problem was getting enough momentum because I just couldn't get enough speed there to get up it because it was so slippery. This one and the second one, I just felt if I put any more power down, I would just spin one wheel in the mud, and you need the speed. So I don't know what the answer to that is. I think it might be the lower pressure thing I was talking about before. Look, Louis, I kind of had enough there, but Louis went in front of me, his line, so nothing wrong with that. but I just ran out of pace at the very top. So it's not the end of the world, but obviously, if you can just ride straight up something, you're going to save yourself a second or half a second. And you do it enough times, you build up enough time, and you go faster. So I think Adrian Lansley won V40s today, Paul Lloyd second, Andy Gardner third. I bet they were just going straight over this every time. I think that's one of the differences with the really, really fast riders is they get their setup just right for the conditions. It's just hard to get everything done in time. I really should have checked my tyre pressure. Something that the head coach has talked about a lot. Check your tyre pressure so you know what it feels like. I kind of just went with what felt okay without really checking it. I think it was about 20, 19 or 20 today. And I was riding tubs as well. So that was getting really good grip with tubs in the mud. So I'm on Louis' wheel, and always seem to go fast down here, and then I'm looking forward to giving it some on the uphill here. So again, just looking forward, think about who am I going to bridge to next. That's Tim Wagstaff from Sprockets, and somebody else, and really just keeping the pace on, just trying to catch up. It was quite a shortish lap. I mean, I think the fast people were doing just over 6 minutes, which is pretty insane. So that's to stay on the lead lap today was really not easy. Last year I got lapped by Adrian Lansley, so I was hoping not to be, and I had a bit of confidence given I passed Louis. I thought, well, if I'm ahead of Louis, then hopefully I'll be on the lead lap. So I can't really see anyone ahead of me, so I'm just trying to stay safe, get some good pace. I felt pretty good still, so I just kept plugging away. And I am thinking to myself, wow, this race is going well for me at the moment. Surprisingly, I had no expectations whatsoever today. In fact, there was a bit of, I never have a good race at Popham. It's probably going to happen again, but I try not to do that negative talk. So yeah, this was working really well for me. So again, smashing it up here as hard as I can go, to see who I can get close to. And now I'm in the back marker. Sometimes it's hard to know who's on your lead lap and who's been lapped. Went off there. Oops. You just see someone ahead, and it's always motivational to see someone ahead. You think, okay, let's try and get a bit closer to them. And I know there are great battles throughout the race all today. There's a lot of big happy smiles at the end of the race. What a great thing to do on a Sunday. I know Dan Walton and Chris Day had a really good battle, chopping and changing. smashed past me earlier in the race, which was good fun. And yeah, good racing throughout the field. Right, I think how many? 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go. And I think, right, who's ahead of me? Look, there's nobody ahead of me. Is there? It's hard to see from here. Just go as fast as you can. I think that might be a lapped rider, given I'm going really fast. They're on a mountain bike. And then a Satonia rider. Thank you kindly. And then into the woods. So pretty much got a clear run here, which is great. So as long as I don't make too many mistakes, I should get some good pace on. I wonder if that bank got even more slippery in the later races, because we were getting good grip on it, to be honest. It was fine. I mean, it was slippery, but at least you could get up it with speed, and that too. I'd love to hear from some of the later riders what it was like. So have another go at this bank. Will I make it? No, not at all. This guy on the right's had a mechanical, poor guy. Hopefully you managed to get to the pits. Yeah, no drive. Up here again. I'm gonna make it. No, not really, but not too bad. Yeah, maybe 1 psi out would have made the difference. Who knows? The thing is, you got to make those decisions quite quickly sometimes if you haven't got much time. And you can get lucky, but it's better to try, isn't it? That's what the pros do. And I think in Belgium they get a much longer time to practice the course and try different things out. There was this guy was very tentative going down here, which was, I think, even harder to do. Better to ride it, but you know, it was so slippery. But better just to go for it and try and walk down. It was so slippery. There was some pirates went to, and Ignite riders went to Rudevord in Belgium, which their race was on. I'm not sure if it was Saturday or Sunday, but you know, a top quality venue. You know, super prestige, round 1, and an amazing course, and they got to ride it. And I don't know why I'm telling you that story, but I can't remember. But hey, that's pretty cool though. Anyway, and well done to all of them for taking part in that. I heard it was great fun, and I can't wait to hear the stories of what it was like to ride that amazing course. I definitely want to go there and see a Belgian race one of these days. You know, there's no higher level than that, is there? Around here, I'm thinking only a lap and a half to go. I might as well just give it everything. Smash it up here again. Yeah, I'm feeling tired, but I'm still pretty good, you know. And there were some riders ahead. I have no idea who they are. But I thought, wow, riders ahead, that's cool. Who might they be? And then I realised on that blue bike is Rich Warner. And I actually dove down there just to give him a bit of a shock that I was there. And I bet he was really surprised to see me, because I have not seen him all season, um, because he's been really fast. Um, so yeah, I dived up there and I thought, wow, this is brilliant. Um, that's a Tony rider, I think a youth rider. He was really fast. Rich dived in there. I didn't. I should have taken a better line, really, because Rich just took advantage of me, and then he was gone. Um, yeah, navigating through the field is really important, because look at the gap he's got on me, and he's on a mission. He's probably he's probably saved some energy for the last lap, and I've given him a bit of impetus to get away from me, and yeah, he was he's putting a really big gap on me, having a battle with that junior. So I don't know what your name is. Maybe we can find it out. I think is it a Satonia rider? Oh, I reckon. Oh, is it? Oh no, it's a Pedalon rider. So that's probably Isaac Alloway, I reckon. It is a Pedalon rider. That must be Isaac Alloway. And there, I've got next to Rich there, but oh, he just goes in front of me. Bit of foot down, power slide. Again, I caught up on the uphill again, and then struggle a bit to keep the pace going here. I mean, I'm trying, but just struggling with the cornering skills. There's always more to learn, and I was just trying to stay calm, and take a good line, use everything I've learned, like there, straight line that a bit. I think that was quite good, and I've not lost anything there on Rich and Isaac. And then I'm gonna put the power down here and see if I can get closer, but they're both really strong, clearly, so it's tough to close the gap. I think I might get past Isaac here, and this is the last lap now. Last lap, and I'm thinking, what? This is so cool that I'm up with Rich. This race is going so much better than I thought it would, and I think with Rich again, there is Luca Masha, who is always, he's always ahead of me. He's really strong. And Rich has gone straight past Luca. So I'm thinking, well, maybe just passing him a bit is about as good as it's going to get, which was great, and I was smiling to myself. But I thought I'd just keep going. You never know. I've got those straights where I'm strong. I might catch him later, but he was pretty far gone here. Luca's gone. But I'm not a million miles away. Slippery, so slippery, and it got more and more slippery as the race went on. Luca was getting off and running, and it was working well. I mean, I didn't try it once, but he got on his bike really well. I'm not sure if he goes past Rich here. It's hard to see from where I am, but I think he's going to dive down the inside of Rich. Yeah, he has. And look, I'm not that far behind him. So I'm pretty excited here. Last lap. Come on. Let's just stay in contact. Oh. Yeah, that was pretty good for me. I almost got up there. Down here, just didn't want to. Could so easily lose it going down there. and just got to keep the momentum going. There's Rich. Oh, was that Rich there? I can't remember which one. This corner was so slippery for anyone who's riding it. You have to be so careful going around it. And I seem to have come off not too well there because everyone ahead of me's kind of disappeared. But I just keep going up here. Look, ooh, just about made it, and then had to like go down here with only 1 foot clipped in. And then clipping in was pretty good again because the mud was wet. It wasn't clogging up so badly. Well, that was my experience. And straight on the power, I'm going pretty hard here because I'm thinking this is my last chance to get close to anyone. They're going to be going hard too, so it's kind of now or never to catch them. Over the log. This guy, he left me a gap to go past him. I think he was expecting me to go past him, but and maybe I should have. But he was pretty fast, really. So I don't know what your name is, and it's so hard to see your number. But he was going really fast, so I just stayed in his wheel and followed him. Maybe I should have tried to get past him, but I really don't think I lost anything because look, this is a bit I go downhill pretty fast, and I'm not going past him. So, and I'm not hanging back. He's going pretty fast. I think that does disappear. I get a nice line though on the inside, and then this is it. I'm just going to really hit this climb as hard as I can. Absolutely burying myself up here, trying to catch up with the people in front, Rich and Luca, and they just slowly come back to me. At this point on the last lap, I actually passed Rich for about 1 corner. But I thought if I can get into contact, I've got the second uphill. If I've got close to him, close to them, so they're just ahead. Rich is just behind Luca. I shouldn't really lose too much time here. So I keep going. Got this downhill. Around there, that was so tricky. And there's lots of tape on the floor. I bet there's a lot of tape that just came down. And they're kind of getting away from me, but they are going downhill, so it always elongates the distance a bit. But I'm thinking, this is kind of getting away from me. I'm trying as hard as I can, but I just can't go any faster. So I just try and stay upright, because that's got no chance if you don't stay upright. Round this corner, and it's the next corner where it's the last uphill, and it's basically this uphill or nothing. So once I get onto here, it's quite a distance, but I'm just going to really hit it hard and try and get as much grass as I can for grip and get up there as fast as I can. But obviously they're all doing the same thing. So I'm going really hard, and that is Rich on the right. Brilliant. I was like, oh my god, I've got past him, and this is the last little bit. If I don't do anything stupid, even though he's good at the twisty stuff, I might stay ahead of him. So I was like going really fast as I could here without going wrong, and I could just feel him breathing down my neck. But I'm just determined. I thought, oh my god, this is going to be an amazing day if I manage to beat Rich. I'm normally battling with Richard Lewis, who we have great battles with, and now I'm battling with Rich Warner, which is amazing. God knows what position I'm in as well. So I am doing the best I can. I'm moving forward. In fact, I'm slowly catching some of the others in front of me. Luca's just ahead of me. And I know that this corner is, my legs were spinning like mad. And as I'm coming in here, Laura, Rich's partner, was shouting. And I was thinking, I've got to stay ahead of him. And I looked behind and I punched the air when I realised I was just 2 seconds ahead of Rich. And I beat him. Awesome. So I was well chuffed with that. Really chuffed with that race. Stayed on the lead lap. Terrible start. But so much fun. Everyone had a good time today. So yeah, thank you Satonia. Thank you NHRC for putting on a fabulous race. Look, there you go. I'll wipe the screen so it's all really clear. But there's John Wheeler and Tim Lawn. I think that's Aidan who was ahead of me. I don't ever see Aidan. He's always well ahead. So yeah, this course must have suited me for some reason. It just did. Don't know. That's the funny thing about CX. That's Matthew Heathcote. Who I passed earlier on the downhill, and yeah, everyone had a lot of fun. That's Matt's daughter Anna, she's very, very clean. I'm a bit worried about her trainers. They are so clean. Yeah, it was brilliant. Had lots of fun. Yeah, the start didn't go well. No blame attributed, Kieran. So don't worry about that, mate. It's just one of those things that happens at a race, especially at a start in a lot of mud, slippery mud. Yeah, we all still had lots of fun. So yeah, brilliant stuff. So yeah, I'll see you at the next race, which I think is Highclere. Never been there before, so hopefully that's lots of fun. I'm sure it will be. Sure we'll see the same faces, and yeah, hope everyone's okay. Oh, there's Richard come to say some nice words of congratulations to me. Cheers, Richard, and I'm sure we'll have some more battles in the coming weeks. Cheers, everyone. Bye.
All right. Well done. Yeah, you too. Oh, it's a slippery one, wasn't it? That's what I said. You went showdown like that. Oh, no. Yeah. Did you see me slide down the track on my back? Yeah, it was this way. I got yeah, cheers, Rich. Yeah. I realised I dropped water changing cars. It was a nice soft landing. I just slid along a little bit. I was like, okay, it's all right. Oh, it's so nice to get you. I took the lead, I thought you were very strong in the open, mate. You always have been, though. Yeah. I'm much quicker than you in the woods. Yeah. As soon as you get in the open straights. Yeah. I was powering up the hill. Yeah. And you know what? It just keeps sticking out. You know what's making a big difference? You weren't falling off too much. No, it didn't happen because you lose so much time when you fall off. Yeah, you do. So much. I was just trying to stay up. You didn't fall off. I was praying you would. Yeah, I fell off. I fell off once. Twice in the space of like 10 metres. And I went skidding along. I lost a few seconds. Yeah, that was great. Oh, did he? Yeah. Oh, okay, thanks. No idea. Oh, cheers. Oh, thank you very much. No, I didn't. No, I don't. Yeah, I didn't.